Hello. So, Merry Christmas. Welcome to day 24 of my Honey Advent. And I am delighted to be joined today by two young gentlemen who one of them is my son and the other one is his first ever bestie. So they grew up as neighbours, and so so as babies,
Yeah,
you were
just across the road through the windows.
I know.
Yeah.
It was amazing. So growing up together and really cool. Only 3 weeks apart, I think, aren't you?
Yeah. Something
Yeah,
like
so,
that.
yeah.
Well, you're a June. You're
May.
yeah,
that's
literally.
it.
Yeah.
So I have given them both a pot of honey and we're going to taste it together. So this is my honey from my bees, but it isn't the first harvest. It's not that early spring harvest with dandelion. So this one, no idea really what it is, but we're just going to have a little sensory analysis.
Absolutely.
Go. So the first thing you do, guys, is you put your nose in there and give it a smell. Now, what does it remind you of? Anything?
Freshly mown grass. I want to
Oh.
say
Oh, very good.
definitely some floral notes.
I've
I've got to say it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Smells quite a lot like honey. To me.
Well, I was just thinking, I can pick up a lot of beeswax in this. It really does have the smell of beeswax. That could be because it's my honey, and when I make candles and work with my beeswax, it is from my bees. So, right, okay. So now, guys, when you taste it, we'll have a look at it. So I'll show it to the camera here so you can see it's quite light. It's actually still quite liquid. Now, if it was a dandelion honey, it would have set by now, but this is still quite liquid.
I think mine is quite set,
Oh.
So I might have a different.
You might have a little bit of dandelion in there.
Yeah.
Now, if it is dandelion, then the aroma can be old socks.
I haven't got old. Well, what do you? You're better than me.
No, it's more fruity.
Yeah.
Who's
floral?
I won't give that away about whose socks. Hello, Lisa, welcome. So I've got two special guests here. So Lisa is in the States. So well done for joining us. So this is my honey. We're just having a look and we're going to put it in our mouths now. We're going to do the first taste. So when you put it in your mouth, you just let it melt on your tongue and then roll your tongue across the roof of your mouth. And then you'll be feeling with your tongue whether it's really smooth, whether there's any gritty bits, which would be the little bits of crystallization.
Yeah.
And also you'll pick up more aromas as you taste. So let's go. I've got a bit of lemon curd.
Yeah. It's got zesty.
And it makes your mouth really watery, doesn't it?
Mine's very flowery still. It's I'm just getting those floral. I'm getting very springtime.
Oh.
Yeah, stuff.
So your aroma initially was the grass.
Yeah.
It's a bit better than socks, isn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
So if it was the dandelion honey, we would have expected an aroma of socks. And then dandelion has a very distinctive flavour, but this is not dandelion. So because it's from my hives in the garden, it will be a real mixture of garden flowers. Now, I do have a big tulip tree, and I wonder if it might have some of the tulip tree. And Lisa, you might know this, but in America, what's it? Tulipo, and I wonder if that is the tulip tree honey.
It goes sour as soon as I rub it on the top of my mouth. I get those. Is that you expect honey to be like really sweet and just taste of honey, but it's got those top notes that just go whoop, and you feel it going sour. It's lovely.
I think that's that kind of lemon curdy.
Yeah, that's it. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. It is, isn't it?
But it's not. It's not as sharp as the lemon curd or any sort of citrusy things. It's just got that top note that just activates that sour feeling in your mouth.
And you getting the slight burn at the back of your throat.
Yeah.
So that's the sweetness. That's the the real sweetness. But it does have quite a persistent flavour as well. You can taste it, but yes. Now my mouth is drying out. So when you're eating it, you get lots of saliva, don't you? It's just really moist, really juicy, and then your mouth dries out, ready for another spoonful.
Very Moorish.
It is very, very Moorish. Yeah. I'm sorry you don't have any, Lisa, to join in with us.
I am sorry too. You guys you're making me jealous.
Yeah, but it's a really creamy colour, but it is still quite liquid. It had started to crystallise, but it is very runny. So I do need to send it off and get it analysed, I think, and just find out what it is. But it is a lovely, it's very unique. It's very different to, I've tried 24 honeys and it doesn't taste like anything else that we've had. So we've got a field behind us, so there'll be clover. We've got clover in our lawn, but it doesn't have the clover flavour. It doesn't have the rapeseed. I'm wondering if it is the tulipo or tulip tree, because we've got a tulip tree here that's 20 odd years old that I planted, and it's been flowering for about the last 8 years. And this year it was just covered. And we know that bees need an acre of flowering plants. But if you have a tree, it can have the equivalent of 5 acres. So one tree can be, it can produce a lot. Yeah. So the bees don't need to go anywhere else. So I think, what I'd done was I had just harvested this, bottled it, sold it all, and then kept a few little pots for me just as a record, not realising what a good honey it was.
Do you know, it's almost spicy, like as soon as not like it doesn't last for that long, but as soon as it hits your tongue, it's like the warmth from the honey, like instantly.
Like if you've had like chili. Chili and you feel it at the back of your throat.
But not as strong or anything. But it's like, obviously, when you describe honey, you think, oh, the warm sensation, that soothing thing that comes from it. But it's like I feel that in my mouth and around my palate instantly, and then it sort of mellows out with all of those floral flavours that I described earlier.
Wow.
Yeah.
These guys are so good, aren't they? I should have had them all month. Do you know what? I'm going to get another little spoon. Can I just have a taste of yours? Because
of course.
It is slightly
different.
It's
a bit more set, yeah.
It is a bit more set. And of course, when the bees... Oh,
if you can, you see what I mean? Like, it's
is that
when I saw yours, I saw it glooping. I was like, oh, maybe I got a different one.
No, and you've got really hard crystals.
Yeah. So maybe that's affecting something.
Is that a temperature thing? What's the storage?
That is a bit of the dandelion. So dandelion. Right, I'll give you the other end of my spoon there, but you try that.
Yes.
It is very lemon curdy.
Yeah, this one is very lemon curdy. Yours has got a little bit of dandelion. It's really different, isn't it?
Yeah, that's very lemon curdy. That's exactly how I describe that. Yeah, that's gorgeous.
And very smooth as well.
Yeah, really smooth. Yeah. I think with the crystals, it's obviously melting on your mouth, so it's like all those little bits of flavour, the journey that it takes you on is elongated because it's melting in your mouth and changing as you go along. Whereas, I suppose the more smoother one is just like instantly. Yeah,
it just instantly
definitely
dissolves.
lemon curd. Yeah, that's beautiful, lovely.
And do you know how the crystals are formed in honey?
No,
I can tell you.
Okay, so the bees, they collect the nectar from the plant, and the nectar will have a whole mixture of different sugars. So sucrose, fructose, glucose, and then loads of these other types of sugars. Then it will have amino acids and all the trace minerals from the plant. And then the bee drinks up this nectar, which is 80% water, takes it back to the hive, meets another bee, and they exchange it through their tongues. So it's called trophallaxis, where they literally vomit it up, swap it with the other bee. It goes down in their stomachs where they add enzymes which break down the sugars.
Oh, okay.
So if we eat a sugar, our body has to break it down. But what the bees are doing is they're breaking it down for us. And this is why honey can be anti-diabetic, because it's not. It doesn't have the same strain on our body. It doesn't have the same strain. So honey is much better for you to eat. And
it's pre-digested, isn't it? So it makes sense.
And it's made from nectar, but it will have trace amounts of pollen, because as the bee drinks the nectar from the flower, it will pick up bits of pollen on its body, which it will take back to the hive. And as all the bees around the hive are depositing the nectar with the enzymes into these little wax cells, they then have to evaporate it, because it's 80% water, and they need to get it down to less than 20% water. So they fan their wings, they do tongue lashing, so they're actually lashing it with their tongue.
Nice.
and then that evaporates the water. Now, the different sugars, they cause the crystallization. So say, for instance, with dandelion, that has a high proportion of glucose in it. And the glucose molecules will move around and create crystals around the pollen particles. So that's how you get the crystals.
Right. Okay.
So a honey that will crystallize has more glucose in than a honey that has more fructose. So if you have an acacia honey, because I know you go to Greece, don't you?
Yes.
And so there you'll have an acacia honey, which is really liquid and really clear and very rarely crystallizes. And that's because it's really high in
fructose as opposed to glucose.
Yeah. So you can, it gives you an indication of the sugars by how the honey changes. And then the dark honeys, the honeys that are from honeydew, they rarely crystallize because they don't have much glucose.
Yeah.
So it's fascinating. Any other questions?
None from me, no.
Yeah. It's good honey.
Yeah.
Good.
I have a question.
Oh, great. Go ahead.
Does honey age like wine?
Yes, it does. And actually, comparing it to wine is a really good example, because some honeys age well, like some wines, and some don't. Now, if you watched yesterday's, where I had Natasha, and she was talking about the HMF, how that will increase with age. And the HMF is a way of spoiling the honey, and the honey is more likely to ferment. Now, some people really don't like honey more than 2 years old because they feel that it will spoil. Now, I have got some honeys that are several years old, and I taste them periodically, and I store them all, at a steady, cool temperature. And I have found that the flavor profiles change over time. So I have mentioned this before, but in 2020, I harvested a honey at the Newt, and we couldn't identify. And when we harvested it, it was a really strong almond and Play-Doh aroma. I mean, it was just really strong. And it wasn't a pleasant honey. And as it crystallized, it was like glue. And so it would snap a spoon, a wooden spoon. You'd put a wooden spoon in and it would snap. And you'd try and pull a bit up and it would be all tacky. And so we just put these jars away and didn't do anything with them. And then we were running regular honey tastings, and we used to use the honey from the estate for hotel guests to taste. And we'd run out of any fresh honey. So I had to get one of these jars from the back. Now, I'd learned in the meantime that this honey was actually from laurel. So laurel hedges, which we had all over the estate. The bees had foraged on that because it was out when nothing else was. And that's why almost all the honeys that harvest with this laurel. But what was interesting is where we had harvested it beginning of July, end of June, or maybe, no, actually we had harvested it earlier, but because the bees the previous year had harvested from the lime trees or linden trees, it actually had linden in there. And so when the honey had been sat for over a year, finally the linden flavors came out and it became an absolutely delicious honey. So it was really interesting.
Waiting for it to mature and then those notes to pick up. But
yeah, so it's interesting. And yesterday, the Buchenhof from South Africa, that sample I've got is from the 2021 harvest from Natasha, and it still had the same profile, the same aroma that she was expecting from a fresh harvest. So it's all in how you store it. So if you can store honey at 10 degrees or below, then it will be quite stable. And also, every time you open a honey, you're going to increase the chances of oxidization and deteriorate. So again, like a wine, if you kept opening it and having the odd glass, then it's going to deteriorate quicker. So so it is a case of personal taste, what sort of honey it is, where it's come from, and what you're looking for in a honey. But the HMF is a toxin, so you don't want too much HMF. But what would be an interesting question that I don't know the answer of is if you can taste. I mean, you can taste when a honey has gone off or when it's turned or it's too mature, but I wonder if that's the HMF that you taste or if that's just an indication. So that would be something to look into.
I'm curious if the fermentation adds any nutritional value, like other fermentations can.
Well, again, I'm not an expert on this, but mead is fermented honey,
Mhm.
and mead, there is some talk, there's some schools of thought that mead was the first medicine, and the word medi could come from mead. There's also
That's
other,
awesome.
there's Greek that it's the middle, it's the bridge, it's healing is medi. But yeah, I think it was some druids I was talking to in England who were talking about mead being medicine. And the monks, the monasteries, they used to keep bees, they used to ferment their honey. And honey was always used as a preservative, by the ancient Greeks, by the Egyptians, and by, lots of other cultures. They would preserve things in honey. And so it would make sense that it would ferment. There's the great story about the Egyptian tomb where they found honey, and that's how they knew that honey would last for 4,000 years. But how good it tasted, I don't know. But apparently it did taste as honey. Everybody put their little finger in, took a taste, and went, "Oh, it's honey." But it was in a clay pot, so that would have been quite porous. So there would have been all kinds of things coming in and out. There would have been an exchange. But also what they found later when they sent the honey off to be analysed with this pot, that it had actually been used to preserve babies' bodies.
Ooh.
So,
What kind of flavour does that
Yeah.
have?
Oh god.
Oh my goodness. How fun.
yeah.
It's-
And then there used to actually be what were they called? Melly men or honey men. I think this was ancient Greece as well, thousands of years ago. Men used to donate their bodies to medical science. And what they would do is the last few years of their life, they would only eat honey.
Oh really?
And they would increase the amount of honey they would eat every day to the point that they would then die. So their bodies were full of honey. And then they would be chopped up, put in a jar, and left for 100 years.
God.
And then that would be a medicine. Mellifera men. That was
Oh,
it.
wow.
Mellifera men.
Wow.
I'm not sure how true it is, but I heard something of Thomas Cromwell, who's responsible for a lot of the destruction of our abbeys and monasteries. But it's interesting what you brought up about monasteries, with that he spared one monastery simply because he liked the honey from it because they grew thyme there, and the
Oh,
thyme flavor went in it, and he just loved the honey and that from it, and it was a very special place for him. So considering how much he destroyed of
Wow,
England's
yeah.
monastery, but he saved that one because
do you know which one it was?
can't remember off that. I can't remember if this is actual history or just something off of Wolf Hall, which is a great program.
Oh, yeah.
But it it must have come from somewhere. So
Well,
maybe I'll
yeah.
do a bit of research on that. But,
No, I think we'll all have to get
yeah,
on our
100%.
phone to check that one out.
Yeah.
But yeah, Glastonbury Abbey, they had an amazing medicinal garden there. I mean,
Yes.
that was all destroyed, but
Yeah.
that's down the road here. So yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Thank you very much. Thank you for joining, Lisa. I'm so glad you made one.
I know, finally. Thank you so much. This has been so fun.
Oh, great. Well, have a very, very Merry Christmas.
Happy Christmas.
You
Merry
too.
Christmas.
Merry Christmas. It's nice to see you all.
See you. Bye.
Bye-bye.